How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. So we're doing another video on 3 oversold stocks that I'm looking at right now in the market. And 2 of these 3 stocks I haven't talked about in a while. Actually, now that I think about it, one of them I have never talked about. So we're going to be talking about a brand new stock in this video, going over my thoughts on the stock, some charts, what I'm planning on doing. So sit back, relax, take a sip of that good old coffee, guys. Smash the like button. Check out my Patreon as well if you want all my real-time buys, sells, call-outs, private Discord access, morning update videos, plus more. All of that's on Patreon. Link down below. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. So the markets as of now, they're selling off a bit. The S&P is down 0.3%. The NASDAQ 100, roughly the same, down 0.3%. Same with the Dow Jones. And the Russell's the only one that's green. It's up about 0.5% as the small caps are doing pretty well right now, and we will break down the markets a bit further in my video later on today, so make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss that video. And now let's talk about these 3 very oversold stocks. Well, one of them's not that oversold. We'll talk about that one in the end, so make sure you stick through. But the first 2 here are extremely oversold, and the first one is the one that we've never talked about here on the channel, and it's one that I want to do a lot more research on. It is ticker symbol SAM, also known as Boston Beer Company. And if you guys look here on the 4-hour chart, this stock has been obliterated. I mean, it's down 65% from $1,300 back in April, and it just hit 500 yesterday in the aftermarket hours. Like I said, it's down 65%. You guys can see that, and a lot's been going on. You know, the earnings haven't been that great. I believe they just pulled guidance, so they're not showing any guidance for the foreseeable future. A lot of institutional money is moving out of this space. It's just been a complete disaster, right? In the short term, right? In the very short term. And if you look at companies, especially in a long-term, from a long-term perspective, this is when you want to buy, right? Whenever there's some short-term turmoil, there's a lot going on, there's a lot of uncertainty, right? That is when you want to look at it from a long-term perspective. And heck, sometimes even from a swing perspective, you know, that is a good time to pick up some shares. So it's no doubt that the 4-hour chart is not looking good, right? We're clearly downtrending. We're seeing a death cross, all that good stuff for the bears, not for the bulls. But on the 3-year chart, it's a little bit of a different story. Let's take a look here. The 3-year chart, it seems like this is just a healthy pullback. Well, I don't even want to call it a pullback. It's more than just that. It's a crash. Let's be honest. It's a healthy crash at this point, and it looks like the trend is maintaining. You know, the uptrend's maintaining even after that 65% drop. You know, here on the 3-year chart, you can clearly see this spot right around 500, 530. It is a higher low compared to where we were back in March 2020 at about $200. It's a higher low compared to where we were in January 2019. And it's crazy, you know, considering the fact that this stock was $300 in March and it went all the way to $1,300. That is crazy. So if you guys didn't know, Boston Beer Company, well, you probably know based on the beer word, it's an alcohol-based business, right? And, you know, that's the main part of it. We have Samuel Adams, we have Angry Orchard, we have Twisted Tea, we have Truly, we have Dogfish Head, and more. And these are all massive brands out there that, in my personal opinion, aren't going anywhere. And I guarantee most of you, well, at least if you don't drink alcohol, probably not. But if you do drink from now and then, or, you know, whenever you do drink, you probably had something, you know, out of what I just listed. Sam Adams, Angry Orchard, Twisted Tea, Truly, Dogfish Head. You probably had one or more, or maybe all of those in your life. So the brand name is strong. And like I said, there's a lot of institutional money getting out of this. It's seeing some short-term turmoil. And I believe if you have some time on your side, you have patience, this could end up being a pretty solid dip buy moving forward. It's going to take some time. It's not one of those, in my opinion at least, where you're going to buy it and it's going to rip and double in the span of a month or two. But if you have a couple months, maybe a year, and you want to put some money to work, you don't want to sit on cash, this is a pretty decent risk reward in my opinion. And I probably will make a video going over it in the next couple of weeks, potentially, going over a more in-depth, outlook on the company. I think that's going to be interesting considering the stock is down 65%, so be in tune for that. And stock number 2 is also seeing very similar woes right now. It's Clx Clorox. This one went down from $239 back in August of 2020, so over a year ago. Now it's trading at $170. So this one's down not as much as SAM, ticker symbol SAN, which is down 65%. Clorox is down 30%, which is still pretty rough. And the 3-year chart looks very similar to Sam's chart. You can see it's pulled back after a very big run, which was very overbought, let's be honest. Now it's pulled back to that 180 SMA, which you guys can see is the support, has been the support over the past couple of years, and the uptrend looks like it's holding. So I think there's a chance, especially if the Delta runs more rampant, which it could, people start, buying the crap out of Clx products again, which probably will happen. There's a chance we do start getting a break back up here on this particular stock. And if I show you guys the year chart, and let me pull out my channel tool, we're trading very beautifully within this downwards channel. It's pretty clear, right? You got clear resistance, clear support, or not even resistance and support, but we've been, bouncing back and forth, moving down the past roughly year and some change here. So the second we start breaking out of the year, downtrend, whether that's at, 180, 185, $200, whatever, once we start getting out of there, I think we're going to see a big turn of trend on Clx, and that's kind of what I'm waiting for, especially on this 4-hour chart, a break past 175, which is right around that 180 moving average, a push towards 180, 185, 190. I think that is where we could start breaking back out on Clx. And like Sam, this one's going to take some time, so be mindful of that. And the last one here, which we do talk about quite a bit on the channel, is Coinbase. So Coinbase is going through some an interesting debacle right now. The cryptocurrency exchange and services firm received a Wells notice from the good old SEC, and SEC along with the IRS, you don't want to mess with them, right? They received a Wells notice from the SEC last Wednesday saying the regulator, I can't even talk today, guys, intends to sue Coinbase over the product called Coinbase Lend. The company disclosed in a Tuesday night blog post, so this was recently, a couple days ago. The SEC didn't immediately return a call for comment. The company's chief legal officer, Paul Gruel, indicated in the post that the company was caught off guard by the threat, considering its efforts to engage with the regulatory agency for the last 6 months. CEO Brian Armstrong said in a series of tweets that when he traveled to Washington, D.C. in May, the SEC, quote-unquote, refused to meet with him. So at this point, there's a lot of uncertainty, and that's what the stock market hates. That's what individual stocks hate, uncertainty. So the stock sold off a bit. It's down from, 285. Now it's at 257, so it's down pretty much $30 per share, a little bit over 10%, so it's officially in correction territory. And like I said in the beginning of the video, it's not nearly as oversold as Clx and SAM, but nonetheless, it is a bit oversold. And with this uncertainty around, who knows what's going to happen in the short term, but if it blows over, which it might not, because the SEC, like the IRS, they're not to be messed with. They're pretty serious people over there. But if it blows over, this could end up being a simple buying opportunity, buy the dip opportunity. And as of now, I mean, it's holding the uptrend. You know, it's holding the uptrend on the 4-hour chart. It's trading above the 180 SMA, which has been support the past couple of weeks. You know, it's at a higher low, clearly on this chart. And if we start pushing back over 260, 265, which I'm going to put my alert in the middle of those two price targets, 260, 250. If we start moving past there, guys, and the dust settles a bit, don't be surprised if Coinbase pops back to the upside. So overall, those are three stocks that are pretty oversold right now. SAM is very oversold. CLX, pretty oversold. And Coinbase, not that bad, but still a little oversold. Those are three stocks I'm looking at. I'd love to know your thoughts on those down below in the comments. Make sure to smash that like button if you all found value, and make sure to subscribe. You know, those are ways that are free that you can help me out and show support, and it really, really does help me out in the YouTube algorithm. So thanks to all you guys out there supporting. And if you want to take your support to the next level and get a lot of exclusive perks, check out my Patreon link down below. I post all my real-time call-outs, buys, sells, moves I'm making, options, long-term trades, all that good stuff. All of that's on Patreon, link down below, or you guys can go to stocksurfest.com/Patreon. Make sure to also get your $30 from M1 Finance or 2 stocks from Webull up to $1,600. Link down below as well. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'll pop one up here. Check it out. You'll find value there. I guarantee it. See you guys there. Thanks for watching again. Peace out.